204. Let's get to Halloween 2, which came out in 2009. Of course, done by Zombie. Stars Scout Taylor Compton once again, Tyler Main, Sherry Moon Zombie. Mostly the same cast, but people like Octavia Spencer pop up, Richard Rayleigh. And the synopsis is Laurie Strode struggles to come to terms with her brother Michael's deadly return to Haddonfield, Illinois. So this was the first time watching the unrated director's cut. I had seen Halloween 2, the theatrical cut, maybe 2 times, and that's what I reviewed on the original Halloween 2 review. This one adds about 15 extra minutes, so it's close to 2 hours. Firstly, I know this movie is fairly divisive, but on this rewatch, with this cut of the film, I'm a big fan of it, much more than I thought it would be. I think it feels so within its own little world of the franchise. It is, like, the imagery, for one, is insane. The white horse and Sherry Moon Zombie, who is the ghost mother of Michael. The lighting in the film is really, I think for the budget, with these really dark locations, but then a lot of bright light coming in from the back and from the distance. The shots in the rain, like the parking lot scene. Like I teased with the first Halloween, what I love about this one is that it just starts really from where Halloween left off, and you're with Michael, you're with Laurie, there's no setup, you don't need to know anything else. You could just watch this one and not even bother with the first Halloween, in my opinion, and you're just off to the races. And while it has references and certain story beats that call back to the original Halloween 2, like in the hospital, for example, it's, for the most part, a original story. One big aspect of the movie that I know is very divisive is the extended dream sequence of Laurie at the hospital being chased by Michael. That is, I would say, probably my favorite sequence in the whole film. And I could not care less that it's a dream, because I'm so engaged and it's so intense in the best way. And even on first viewing, I didn't mind that none of that was real. I think it just feeds into Laurie's fear and trauma of that event, not being able to escape it and almost live it out all over again, just in a different context. How the killing of Octavia Spencer's character is one of the best parts, easily. Just, it's so vicious, and how it's shot from, it seems to be like from an office or from a patient's room through a window. I think it's top notch. The destruction of the guardhouse by Michael. The suspense of the guard going out to his car and Laurie not knowing if he's been killed or not, and then her waking up screaming. Some other good moments when he's wandering through the countryside and he's caught by the farmers or whoever it is. They beat him up and you think he's down, and then he gets back up and kills all 3 of them, including the woman who was trying to stop it. He also kills the dog, and that really showcases Rob Zombie's non-discriminatory killing or mindset for Michael, which that's not new, but he really exemplifies that. The part of the story with Malcolm McDowell using the Haddonfield killings and his back story or history with Michael, and trying to exploit that, the sensationalism of that for money and for celebrity. One part that's really uncomfortable and gross to listen to is when the 2 EMT guys are driving through the countryside, and there's the guy talking about, well, essentially necrophilia with the victims. But then thankfully they hit the cow, Michael shows up and kills both of them. The dream or nightmare moments or visuals with Laurie being trapped in the sort of like a coffin, but like the glass case and pounding on that, and those very horrific quick flash images popping on screen. Laurie's inability to move on and not being able to process what happened, and her screaming at the therapist because she just doesn't understand. She's begging for help or begging for medication, but the therapist just can't really get a handle on her, and Laurie really unraveling. To me, even though it's heightened in a Rob Zombie way, it feels fairly grounded in that way. So I really respect that about the movie. Overall, though, even though I prefer the unrated cut of the film, it is still too long. There are points where it feels bloated, and it could have been tightened in some ways, and so there's that bittersweet nature of it being an unrated, expanded version. If you give it a chance and you watch it more so in the context of it just being a movie, a slasher film, as opposed to being in the context of the Halloween franchise, it might sit with you better. I don't know. And I really wish we'd gotten Halloween 3. I'm pretty sure they were going to call it Halloween 3D. I would have been more than okay. Or if they would do another one now, I'd be cool with that too. We'll see. I don't think we're ever going to get that, but who knows. So that one is a heavy 4 out of 5.